So in your previous slide, we have discussed about what is engineering. Okay. So in another way, in a simple way, we can say what is engineering. The discipline dealing with the art or science of applying scientific knowledge to practical problems, that also called your engineering. Okay. And another definition of engineering is that the profession in which knowledge of the mathematical and natural science going by study, experience and practice is applied with judgment to develop ways to use economically the material and forces of nature of the benefit or mankind is known as your engineering. Okay. So next one is your introduction of mechanics. So first one is what is mechanics. So mechanics is the study of the forces that act on the bodies and the resultant motions that those bodies experience. Okay. So in a simple way, it is the branch of applied science which deals with the study of both stationary and moving bodies under the action of forces. Okay. So in your mechanics, we study about the moving body or rigid body under the action of forces. Okay. So in engineering mechanics is the application of mechanics which solve the problems involving common engineering problems. Okay. So next one, what is applied mechanics? Applied mechanics is the branch of physical science and the practical applications of mechanics. It describes the response of bodies or the systems of bodies to external forces. That whenever the external forces apply at the body, then how body responds of the forces, that reaction or that resultant source, that are called your applied mechanics. Whenever the only mechanics is study about your stationary and moving body under the action of forces, instead that the applied mechanics is describe the response of the bodies whenever the system of the bodies is to external forces applied over that, the response shows. Okay. So this is the difference between your mechanics and your applied mechanics. Okay. So come for the next slide, classification of mechanics. Okay. So basically your mechanics, the subject of mechanics in engineering of mechanics is divided into two groups. Okay. So it is divided into two groups. First one is your statics and second one is your dynamics. Okay. So again your static is divided into two types. One is your rigid body, another one is your deformable body. And again your dynamics also divided into two parts. One is your kinetics and another one is your kinematics. Okay. So we will discuss about all of these things one by one. Okay. So we have discussed about what is mechanics already. So now we have discussed about what is statistic. Okay. So what is static? So what is static? So it is the branch of engineering mechanics which deals with the forces and their effects while acting upon the bodies at rest. Means when your body is at rest position and the force acted over that and their effect shows, that is called your statics. Okay. For example, whenever you have taken a duster. Okay. So I have taken a duster which is in at rest position. Okay. So whatever the force applied over it and their effect acting upon the rest body at rest condition, that is called your statics. Okay. And what is dynamics? Dynamics means it is the branch of engineering mechanics which deals with the forces and their effects while acting upon the body in motion. Okay? So it means whenever your body is in motion condition or moving condition and the forces applied over that and their effect is shows in motion condition, that is called your dynamics. Okay, for example, when a cycle is running, okay, and we are applying some forces over that, okay, so that will be give some effect, that will be give some result to us. So this is called your dynamics. Okay, so static means the force applied at the rest condition. Dynamics means the force will be applied on a moving body. Okay, so dynamics means applied force moving body, it is at rest condition. This is the difference between statics and dynamics. Okay, so next come the static is divided into two parts. First one is your rigid body and second one is your deformable body. So first we will discuss about what is rigid body. Okay, so rigid body means stable, it means it is in rest position. Okay, so a rigid body is defined as a definite quantity of matter, the part of which are fixed in a position relative to each other. Physically, bodies are never absolutely but deform slightly under the action of the body. That one is deformable. Okay, so in this rigid body, a body is said to be rigid when if it does not undergo deformation. Whatever the force may be applied over it, it actually practice, there is no body which can be said to be rigid in true sense of term, but the body is said to be rigid when we have applied some force over a body and that body does not undergo any deformation. Deformation means change in shape or length. Okay, the body is fixed in that original position after applying forces, then that one called your rigid body. Okay, understood? So next one is your deformable body. So what is deformable body? So deformable body means whenever we have applying some force on a body and its shape and size will be changed, then that is called is your deformable body. Okay, so this is the all about rigid body and deformable body. For example, your duster. So whenever we have applied some forces on the duster, that will not change in their shape, that will not undergo in deformation, that shape and size does not change. Okay, deformable body means whenever we have applying some force on a rubber, for example a rubber, okay, or on a football. So whenever we are applying that, that will be compressed downward, so that will change their shape, so it is called deformable body. Okay, so next come to the dynamics. So it is divided into two parts. One is your kinetics, another one is your kinematics. Okay, so first we discuss about what is kinetics. So kinetics means what? Now it is the branch of dynamics which deals with the bodies in motion due to the application of forces. Okay, so in kinematics we study about the bodies in motion, and for the motion body the force is responsible for that, that is called is your kinematic. Okay, so whenever for example a duster is placed in that position, okay, and the dust after some time that will be moved, okay, and for the moving of that rigid body or that body, force will be responsible for that motion, then that is called your kinetics. Okay, Next one is your kinematics. Kinematics means what? Now it is the branch of dynamics which deals with the body in motion without any reference of the forces. Okay. So this is whenever a body is moving, and that will for that force is not responsible, that is called as your kinematic. So next part we will discuss in your next slide. Okay, thank you.